Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Imagine trying to find those names on a keychain in a gas station. Now, why do I say these names? Because they have a lot to do with what we're going to talk about today. There was this guy named King Nebuchadnezzar, and he had a lot of power, and he crafted this gold statue and said, if I play music, you must bow down to this gold statue. And if you don't, I'm throwing you into a burning furnace. Like, that's what he said. And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego know what we know is that when you love God and you're serving God, you're not supposed to bow down to other gods and other statues and idols. You're supposed to only worship God. And the music plays, the boys don't bow down, and King Nebuchadnezzar finds out, and he's mad. He brings the guys in and he's like, what are you doing? I was very clear, if you don't bow down, I'm throwing you into a burning furnace. So let's try this again. If I play the music, you're gonna bow down, right? And I love what the guys say back to him. They say, King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. They're like, no, this isn't happening. That's basically like what they say here. And so it goes on to, actually, I'm gonna let you finish the story yourselves. Daniel 3, check it out. It's a really great story. But I wanna focus on what they said here. See, the boys said, God can deliver us. He's that powerful. But even if he doesn't, we will follow God. We won't waver in how we love him. And it really challenges me to look at, how do we process our own faith? Do we have an if-then faith, or do we have an even-if faith? And let me explain what that means. If-then faith looks like this. If God does this, then I will do this. Examples of that would be, if I get an A on this test, then I'll pray every day. If I get this opportunity, then I'll worship God. We focus on what God can do for us rather than focusing on who God is. And that's what the even if faith here shows us, is God can save us, but even if he doesn't, he's still good and I still love him. So even if you don't get what you want when it comes to an opportunity, God is still good. Even if COVID doesn't go away tomorrow, I will still pray and I will still worship. That is an even if faith. And it challenges me to be in those moments when I question my faith of, where am I putting my focus and my perspective on? It challenges me to have an even if faith. So today, CR Youth, I actually want you to do that. What is one thing in your life that you're like, I'm praying for this and I want this to happen, but even if it doesn't, I will worship God. And I want you to write it down. Put, even if I have to wear a mask for the rest of the year, then I will still blank. I want you to fill that in for yourself, and I want you to post it somewhere in your room that you will see, that reminds you that it's not focusing on the answer to this problem, but it's focusing on God. Because we're not promised to not have trials, but we are promised that God is walking with us and he loves us. So I want you guys to do that, and I want you to continue to challenge yourself to have an even if faith.